remember how to do that. So I'm recording remote 2. I don't think we're going to need to record remote 2. But there you go.
Coffee's for closers only.
Look at that. I can do. It's so much better having. Oh, look at that. Episode 8. Thank you.
You're welcome.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
I don't look like a monster.
Well, I'm going to save most of what I'm going to say for the show. But there's some things I can say here. But before we get started, look at this. Look at that. I mean, people don't know what we've actually done in here today. But today has been a big.
Idea.
I'll save it for the regular show. But we're late. We're super late today.
If we were supposed to be going on at 3.
Yeah, we're supposed to start at 3. It's 5:53.
So it's 6.
Yeah, we'll get to that. I blame you.
Me?
All right. I'm going to drop a marker and we can begin if you are ready.
I am ready.
All right. Oh, yeah, right. We got to view markers here somehow. So everything. Someone who comes in here and changes this. How do you even view markers?
In Logic?
Yeah, in Logic. I'm going to be able to draw markers. Who comes in here and changes things? I swear. All right. No markers in. It's fine. Well, there it is. This is the Dan Benjamin Hour for Thursday, March 12th, 2015. You know what? We're off to a very late start today. An unusually late start. We're doing the show at 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern time now. And it is 5:54 p.m. Central time. So the person laughing at me that you hear in the background is Hattie, my producer here. Somebody wrote in, I think I said this in the last show, but I was so tired. The last time that we did a show, I was so tired. I can't remember anything about the show. I don't even remember if we did a show.
If we did a show.
But somebody said, well, you interrupted your co-host. I think I mentioned this. They said you interrupted your co-host. And I said, she's not my co-host. She's a producer of the show. And boy, we have a lot of fun things to talk about today. I'm very excited to do the show today. But the first thing, that we talk about this Insider Baseball. I'm not sure if in this shot you're going to be able to. Yeah, they can't really see it.
Not really.
But if you're tuning in live or you're watching this as a video program, which I highly recommend because you get to see behind the scenes of everything that we do here. But you can see on this table, it's actually a little rack behind me. Not the kind you're adding. Not that kind of rack.
What?
It's not funny.
He's a good man.
Okay. I just wanted to see if it worked. It seems loud, but I don't think it's too loud. Anyway, in this rack behind me, we have all of our audio equipment, and we got a whole bunch of new audio equipment in that's actually going to help the whole show. We're upgrading the show. The show's proven itself because of you guys who listened every day. And the best thing that you can do to support this show is listen and tell people about it. That's the best way for them to support the show. If you want to give us, a donation, we of course take donations. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about this cool audio equipment. People wanted to know about it. Well, what is it? I will tell you what it is. It is there's a couple different things here. And I don't want to get too, I'll save this for the podcast method show that I do. But we've got some new equipment from Focusrite that's improving the audio. So you may not hear any difference in the audio, but for us, it's a huge difference. It also means we can take calls again, which is something that I had wanted to do from day one, but we couldn't because of some weird technical issues that we resolved with the new hardware from Focusrite. I'll put the links to the hardware in the show notes at 5x5.tv/dbh/8. I also finished the new danbenjamin.com website, which is mostly for this show. And this is mostly what it is.
Majority of it, yeah.
I mean, it's mostly about this show. But that's done. Finally figured out some other technical things. And I'm going to be, gosh, if I can make any time tonight, I'll do tonight. Because we're supposed. Hattie, did you know we're supposed to go to the Regulars tomorrow morning here in Austin?
That's quite early.
Can you do it? Can you make it? Can you get up that early?
That's
Well, we have to be
like
back here for that interview at 10.
10.
So yeah, you're going to have to be up like 2 hours before normal.
Then I'm going to have to go to sleep in the next hour.
in the next few minutes. Well, that seems to happen to you on the show anyway. So perfect. That'll be just
You'll
right.
never catch me. They'll
I'll
never
get you
believe
in a
you.
I'll get
They'll
you
never
in a
believe
yawn.
you.
She yawns constantly on this show. So anyway, we get some new equipment and set up. That means we're going to be able to take your calls, which is something that I always enjoyed doing on Grit and that I very much want to do on this show. Now we can do it. So why aren't we doing it today? Because I'm just announcing it today because I want you guys to listen to the show live. It makes it better. You can be in the chat room. Did you tweet the show, Hattie?
I did.
Thank you for doing that. But you can be a part of this show by going to right now. The URL is dbh.fm. It'll be Dan Benjamin, but that'll still work. If you go there, it'll still work. You can always go to that. Anyway, that's enough of the inside baseball stuff. Simply know we're working very hard to make the show the best that it can be. And we're able to do it because of you guys supporting the show, listening to the show, and doing the review in iTunes makes a big difference. So thank you to everybody who's continuing to review the show. It's the best way to help new listeners find it. There's been a lot of stuff going on in the news, and I've got some strong opinions about some of these things. But that's what you tune in for. You want to hear that. And the main thing is the more I think about it, you know what? Hattie, I'm glad.
What are you glad about?
That we didn't have an opportunity to buy the new MacBook because I've decided I'm not getting it.
Why?
It's ports all the way down. Title. Basically, they have one port. Great. They get one port. I'm excited. Less cables. Apple doesn't want us to have cables. They don't want us to have disk drives. They don't want us to have DVD drives. They don't want us to have cables. Pretty soon they won't want us to have anything. It's just the idea of Apple. You'll have to pay for that.
Right.
And you'll have that in your head and you'll pay, a yearly subscription to think about Apple. But as it stands now, there's, you've got the one jack on the side of the computer and that's it. And they say, oh, well, no problem. You just get an adapter. We have lots of adapters. So I put links to the adapters. I've been talking about this on Twitter. Basically, it's what's called a USB-C port. It's one port. It charges over that port. And if you, God forbid, Hattie, God forbid you need another peripheral.
Right.
If you're foolish enough to want another, right here on this older 13-inch MacBook Air, and I talked about this in the last show, we can charge. We've got USB on this side. We've got a headphone jack on this side. We've got USB on the other, and we've got the little SD card slot. You've got the same on.
I like the little SD card
on
slot.
yours, right?
Yeah. Got
lots of ports. Lots of ports. Now maybe that's too many. Fine. I don't know if I need 2 USB ports. Give me one.
I heard something that one USB port was better than the other, and to avoid a certain one because one.
That's like babies when they're nursing. Same thing. But anyway, we have the one USB-C port, and that's good. Except, what if you want to connect to a monitor and charge at the same time? Well, okay, they make an adapter for that. But you know what we're not seeing in any of these adapters are mini display ports, which is what many of our screens use to connect with, or DVI. So then someone says, "Well, the main adapter that they're coming out with, it's got the USB-C port in the adapter, so you can charge. It has an HDMI port, so you can connect it to your external screen, and it has a regular USB port, so you can connect it to a dock or other devices." It's okay. Well, what if I want to connect it to a DVI, because that's what most of the screens that I use have. Well, guess what? You got to get another adapter. You got to go HDMI to DVI. Oh, well, most screens take HDMI. No, they don't. Most take DVI. Most do not take.
Duh,
right? Anyway, that's enough about that thing. But meanwhile, can I say friend of the show if they're not aware of the show? Can I say that?
They don't know if they're a friend of the show, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They don't realize that they are they're a friend of the show yet. But friend, I'm just gonna
go right ahead.
Friend of the show, Joanna Stern, and I say that because I'm a huge fan of Joanna Stern. She is really into this new Chromebook. I mean, I'm surprised how much she likes it. It's called the Pixel. And, you know, a lot of people don't like these Chromebooks because they don't, you know, it's a different paradigm from the regular laptop that they're used to using, or notebook computer, whatever you want to call it. But this is the first time that I've really seen a Pixel that really seems interesting to me. It's all aluminum. Unlike most of these Chromebooks are plastic. Most of the ones you see out there are plastic. This one's all aluminum. And it looks great. It's got a faster processor. It charges really, really fast. The battery lasts more than a day. And now it's under $1,000. The biggest threat, as Joanna explains in this great article, is that they're more of a threat to low-cost Windows PCs. And to be honest, maybe she's even saying, you know what, maybe they're a threat to the iPad. But now, maybe people who are considering some kind of an Air are saying, maybe I'll get one of these instead.
So that's being compared.
Yeah, they're talking about that a little bit. See, she's got her bling on her finger there.
Bling ring.
See that? But she basically talks about how great they are. They have 2 USB-C ports on them. And you can charge the laptop over that port in just over an hour. And then she compares it to the Dell XPS 13, which gets 50% of the way in that time. And yeah, you got to get adapters for that too. But, you know, it's interesting when you think about how much we do here in this company. How much of what we do is actually happening on the web, if you think about it. A lot happens on the web. Using Google Docs on the web. A lot of people use Gmail on the web. You know, you have Microsoft Word online now. Even iCloud services and the stuff that Apple does are available. You don't have things, as far as I'm aware, you don't have things like Photoshop. That's something that still runs on your computer, right? But how long until they've got a version? You know, the not being able to access. I mean, I know that there is a beta version, because before I get email, there's a beta version of Photoshop that's in a browser, but it's not. From everything that I've heard, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm at Dan Benjamin on Twitter. Tell me I'm wrong. If I get it wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Why are you laughing?
No, I
want to hear it.
People usually don't say that.
They don't dare say that because they're afraid. But don't be afraid. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't be afraid. Tell me. I'm ready to be told that I'm wrong because I want to learn. I mean, you know how I learned? You know how I learned the most stuff when I was first out of college? I went to work at this, I was like an in-house consultant person. And these projects, and you would just work on the project. That's just how companies work nowadays. But way back then, it wasn't as common. And I didn't know. I like my knowledge base was like skewed. You know, like I knew some things about networking and some things about software development and a bunch about writing and how to make what we used to call CBTs, computer-based training, and all this other stuff. I knew how to do all of that stuff, but it wasn't like I had deep knowledge about any one of those categories. And the way that I learned was just like the guy I was working with, he'd be like, what, you don't know how to do this? I'm like, no. He'd like, all right, I'm going to show you how to do it. Then I would learn it. I would go. So tell me if I'm wrong. It's fine. Cheapest MacBooks are starting at $900. Okay. The Dell XPS, which is an excellent Windows machine, $800. So what her argument is that if the Pixel cost a few hundred less than those, it would be super compelling. But right now, giving up the ability to like run local apps is still a big. Right. Would you do that? Would you be comfortable? I don't think I would be.
Doing everything in a browser.
Everything would have to be in a browser. No applications running locally.
I use a lot of apps, like
design work and writing and.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at everything I'm running right now. I'm running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of the 12.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I think that's pretty typical. I don't feel like I could recommend this to anybody just yet. But you know what? A couple more years, that'll be the thing. It'll be the thing, I think. Yesterday, because we didn't get a show in yesterday. I'm sorry about that. Things are crazy around here. We did two interviews though today.
Yes.
No, 2 today? Well,
Yeah.
one was a second interview, one was a first interview.
Right, we're getting
for our
getting
interns.
closer.
And as we hire these interns, things,
You're going to see some new faces.
yeah, and they're gonna be doing some great stuff. I have a lot of confidence in the people that we've hired. We've interviewed 30, 40 people in the last couple hours.
Yeah.
Anyway, yesterday there were some huge outages with Apple stuff. Major outage, worldwide outage, widespread reports across social media, people freaking out, people going nuts, people just freaking out because they couldn't log into the app stores and download new apps. You know, and it's funny because people get upset about this stuff. They get really, really upset about this. If they can't download an app, they want to check and, download.
How many people download apps from the App Store?
Five or six, I think. People all day.
That's just throughout the course of a day.
Yeah.
I wonder how much potential business they lost.
I'm sure it was a lot. Could be billions. And I read speaking of losing business, I read an article yesterday that was talking about what is going to happen when the Queen dies. I know that you follow the British. Look, I left all the plastic on this screen.
Yeah, I don't know why you did that.
I should take that up.
My dad would always get so mad at me when I peel stuff like that
What
off.
a sound, though. Isn't that a good
I know. You should record it.
Well, I mean,
I know.
one last piece. It's listen. It's got that. There's a certain sound that you.
It's going to drive people crazy.
One more.
Get it?
I don't have enough of.
Well, I have too much of a nail. When the Queen dies?
Yeah.
Well, there will be a crazy, very crazy,
Got it. Yeah.
wonderful, large-scale funeral.
Right. So what they were talking about is that they're saying that it will represent a huge
Right. She's been queen for...
huge financial impact. Here, I found the article. It's a Business Insider, and it's kind of a morbid article if you think about it in that light. But if you think about how this will impact the financial world, and they said that the economic hit to the GDP will be between 1.2 and 6 billion pounds. Alexa,
Wow.
how much is 6 billion pounds in dollars?
6 billion pounds is $8,980,100,000.
Thank you.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But they talk about the disruption. They go even further and they say, this is something that modern Britain has never really seen before. If you think about it, they've never seen something like this before. They say that they will cancel, for example, they'll cancel all comedy shows. Prince Charles, they were saying, might even change his name. They might change the national anthem. Is that true? Do you think that would happen? Can you believe that?
What do you
I don't
mean
think
change
that's what they
his
say in
name?
this ridiculous article. But think about the life of the Queen. 18 different prime ministers, 15 U.S. presidents.
Yeah, look at that. She's outlasted all of them.
She has. She sure has.
She's a sturdy lady, though.
But you think about that. We have lots of contingency plans and things like that would happen if, for example, if something happens to the president that's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely are. I don't want to say we're prepared for that,
We have
but there are
in
plans
place.
in place.
Yeah.
They have plans too.
Theirs seems much
They have
more
plans too. That's all I'm saying.
like a lot more has to happen
Yeah.
because it's centered around the royal family.
Mhm.
People that may not be ready to be king or queen would have to be it.
Yeah. But they're saying that they do know things like, for example, they say that all comedy will be canceled.
Just forever.
The last death of a monarch was in 1952, and the BBC stopped all comedy.
Like to be in
All
mourning?
comedy, yeah.
Hmm.
And they have CNN, for example. A lot of places do this. People don't know this, but anytime there's a celebrity or somebody who's famous, they have pre-recorded like segments, if you will, packages they call them in the news about this person, so that if this person dies, they can say, "Oh, look, a tribute to the Queen,"
Okay.
or whatever it is, and then they hit a button. And that goes live. It's already there. It's already recorded.
Right.
They might have to come in and do a quick 5-minute voiceover for the last part of it that says the date.
Right.
But
Or
then
like
they can
to
just
add her most recent accomplishments or something.
But all the major news channels have this. All of them have this.
I didn't know that.
That is so true. And, for pretty much any celebrity or news person or political person who's older, they're ready to go with that. At a moment's notice, they can hit the button and air that. You know what else you can do at the moment's notice? You get a mattress. I don't know if you know this.
Mm-hmm.
At a moment's notice, you say, I want a mattress, please. And one will show up in days.
And you say, I want it to be comfy.
Better sleep for brighter days. That's what a Casper mattress is all about. And what I'm showing you here, if you're watching this on video, are actual pictures of the mattress. You can see people unboxing their mattresses because these things get shipped to you in a little box.
There's the box.
There's the box.
It's like a mini refrigerator box.
Yeah, it's tiny. It's maybe 4 feet tall,
Yeah,
or however,
even
whatever the width.
less,
Maybe.
yeah.
And so you go and this thing comes to you. You open it up and it opens up and it's this incredibly. They have used premium latex foam, so it's cool. It's a cool mat. See, she was yawning. Tell you, you just replay the show tonight. You're gonna be fine. You go to bed early.
It's not the show.
Premium latex. And there's also memory foam in this. So you get the best of both worlds. And these things are really, really, really comfortable. They're really, really well made. And they sent us one to try out. We have it here. We fight over it here. Who gets to take a nap?
I didn't get the nap today, as you can tell.
And what's nice about these is that you get this thing, and if you don't like it, they give you 100 days. 100 days to figure out if you like this thing. And it's nuts, isn't it? 100 days. And they get UPS delivers it to you in 1 to 5 days, depending on where you are. And now they ship to Canada. They actually emailed me to say, tell people they ship to Canada. And somebody on Twitter told me that too. He's like, I'm in Canada. They shipped to me. 100-day trial period. So if you don't like it, they will come in and take it away. I don't think they're getting anyone who sends this thing back because it's amazing. Everywhere in the contiguous US and Canada now. And if you use my code, you will save $50. If you're not in the market for a mattress right now, you can still learn about these and support the show. Casper.com/Dan sent me. That URL will support the show. It'll also you learn about a really cool mattress. If you're ready to buy, the code Dan sent me will save you $50. These things start at $500 and go up to and stop at $950 for a king. That's crazy. And these are
$950 for just a whole king.
These things are crazy. This is nuts. Well, now they do it. Well, they eliminate the middleman for one thing. But I recommend these things. We have one here, and the next mattress that I buy for my home will be a Casper. And they do not pay me to say that. They pay me to read what's on this page. They do not pay me to say that, and that's a fact. So save $50. Use the code Dan sent me. Go to Casper.com. Thanks very much to Casper for making this show possible. Got a lot more I want to talk about today. Trying to keep this short. I'm gonna miss my kids' bedtime. For you guys, it's all right.
That's how special you guys
right.
are.
You know that song, "Cats in the Cradle." You know that
Yes.
one. I tear up a little bit because I'm here so much out of the day,
You
and
are.
then my kids like, I just want to be like you, Dad. I want to be like you, and then I'm gonna be like old retired dude,
and then
he'll
they're
be
going to
like,
be too busy.
he'll be like, yeah, I'm sorry, Dad, I'm too busy. Like it breaks. I'm
It's
getting
an
a little
endless
emotional
cycle.
right now.
Don't get emotional. It's okay.
I don't know if I can do the show anymore. Top Gear host Jeremy Clarkson has been suspended for hitting a producer.
Yes.
This is something that you were actually telling me about, and I've heard of Top Gear.
Yes.
And people are always a little upset when they find out that I'm not really into Top Gear. They think I should be. I'm just not.
I think you would really like it. I think if you give it a chance, I'm not a car person in any way. I like driving, but I'm not into cars, I guess.
But you like the UK, you like British people, and you like their accents.
Well, I guess so, yes. But I love the way that show is shot, photographed.
Yeah.
Cinematography.
Yeah.
And it shows they do fun little, races and tests and I think I remember one of my favorites was, of course, they took the Volvo SUV and then they took the BMW SUV out in deep snow and did a race all the way down like a mountain or whatever in the snow and see who would get to the bottom first. And they have professional drivers and the Stig and all that. So I think you would really like it. Watch it. I watch it more for the visuals.
Yeah.
And the three guys are super funny. But also apparently one hits people.
Yes.
Jeremy.
He does.
He's very tall, very, very big guy.
It says that Clarkson, one of the corporation's highest earners, has a fracas with a BBC producer. He has been suspended pending an investigation, and no one else has been suspended. Top Gear will not be broadcast this Sunday. And the BBC said that the next 2 episodes and possibly the third and final show of the series will not even air. And, of course, fans of the presenter, they call them a presenter.
Right, not a
over
host.
there. Not
of
a host,
show.
they're a presenter.
Dan, you're a presenter.
Presenting the show to you. They expressed dismay at the decision. At the time of writing, more than 300,000 people signed a petition seeking his reinstatement. So, I don't know. We'll see. We will see what happens. But my feeling...
What do you think?
The guy hit a producer. If that's true... I mean, I don't know. How do you wind up hitting a producer, really?
Right. About a show about cars.
Right. It's a show about cars, but I guess he got upset about it.
I feel like if we knew more about the situation, I feel like...
That it's hashtag bring back Clarkson. He looks like, he's pretty OG.
He kind of reminds me, not in the actions, but in the, I guess... appearance-wise, he kind of reminds me of Craig Hockenberry.
Oh, sure.
Like tall dude, just but really cool.
I don't know. Anyway, he hit somebody, so he's out, and the show's over. You know what else is over? Google's done selling the Nexus 5. Done. This is a brand new 2014 flagship Android smartphone. They're done. They tell The Verge, quote, while some inventory of Nexus 5 still exists with our retail and carrier partners, our focus is on the Nexus 6 at this time. And, and it's different because you think about what Apple does. Apple comes out with a phone and then they keep selling the old one when they come out with the new one. The old one is like, that's it. But they didn't with the 6 in a traditional way because they had the 6 and the 6 Plus, but you can still get the 5S. Google, they're done. They want everybody moving forward. Nexus 5 no longer available to buy on the Google Store. And people really liked it, but when stocks are gone, it's gone. So, it now is if you still want to get a 5, but they're pushing the 6. The 6, though, is huge. The screen is huge. And a lot of people like Andy Ihnatko, when I was talking to him about it, he's saying, I'm hesitant to recommend. I'm very hesitant to recommend the Nexus 6, he told me, because he's concerned that the screen is just so large. The Moto had a smaller screen, more accessible to people. Also, we found some good entertainment news before the show. Some weird entertainment news. But first, Frozen 2
it's happening.
Is in the works. And that's my kids are going to, get very excited. Well, no, I shouldn't say my kids. I should say my daughter. She's very interested in these two. There's 2 princesses in this, right?
Yes. Sisters.
One of them has something where anything she touches is...
Spoiler alert.
Is that a spoiler alert?
I don't know.
I haven't finished saying it yet.
Who hasn't seen Frozen?
Okay, spoiler alert. I guess skip ahead 30 seconds. Everything the girl touches, it freezes or something. And
She's got like ice powers.
She's got ice powers, but she can't control the ice powers.
Right.
But she's what we would call an Omega level mutant.
Okay.
Are you familiar with that? What an
You've
Omega
told me.
level? Okay, and so for those who don't know, at least in the Marvel universe, an Omega level mutant is a mutant whose powers, whether they know this or not, or whether they're able to use them in this capacity or not, their powers could potentially have a global effect. In other words, it's not like they can shoot a fireball or something. They could like burn the whole earth, to go to an extreme. So Omega level mutants do exist and they're rare, but you got to watch out for them when you find an Omega level mutant because they're dangerous. I heard Iceman is an Omega level mutant. That's what made me think of it because they're talking about Frozen.
Yep.
But Disney Animation tweeted, forecast winter weather ahead. Disney Animation developing Frozen 2 with Chris Buck and Jennifer Lee. And
Is she laying on a bag of ice?
yes, she's laying in a bag of ice. Who is that? That's Kristen Bell.
I think she was the
She
voice.
did the voice.
Yeah.
They're calling it. Well, they had a short film that came out called Frozen Fever. Haven't seen it. I have to go check that out. But if you're if you're into this kind of thing, these movies are huge. And a lot of people didn't like Frozen because they said they felt that it was too, like, contrived to be a Disney success story. Does that make sense? Like it was too contrived, Hattie, I don't want you to write the episode number up on the chalkboard anymore.
Why?
Because I think that instead I want you to just write the date.
We can do that.
The theater of the mind.
See, I got my soundboard back. Google Code has disabled all new project creation and is shutting down on January 25th. Goodbye. Not Google as a company, just Google Code. And you know why? Because let me tell you why. I'll tell you why. It's very simple. Because Google Code sucked. They're not. Wait, Hattie, are they a sponsor?
No.
Google Code sucked, and honestly, GitHub won. GitHub is better. My username is Dan on GitHub. I had Dan on GitHub. I had Dan on Twitter, and I got so many tweets on Twitter. It drove me insane because everybody's apparently named Dan. So I changed it to Dan Benjamin, and people are like, how could you change it? Because I didn't want to get tweets from everybody else, and my name is Dan Benjamin. That's how. And anyway, Google Code, I guess they threw in the towel. Hattie just turned her computer around, and she had a large note to me that says they're hearing static in the chat room.
Yes.
Are they not watching video? Tell them to watch the video.
Yeah, maybe that will fix your static problems.
Why are you listening to the audio anyway? It's a video show. Hello. Anyway, we'll figure it out. I don't care. I'm sorry. What can I do? Have they been hearing it the whole time?
No. It just started. It started after the BBC article.
I don't know what these people do. Yeah. I don't know their lives. I'll stop it and start it for them. I'm not even editing this out. You can just hear it.
No static on the video.
No, of course, because the video is pristine.
And other people said static is on the video.
No, there's no static on the video. I don't see any static in here. But we have a new setup. Right. Who knows what gear could be doing?
It doesn't sound like it on.
No, it's crystal clear. Yeah. It's pristine here. And if there was static, I'm going to get into it. If there was static, I would see it here on the meters on the video screen. It's silent. It's perfect.
Yeah, we got it good.
So I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're hearing static. I will work on it. I will endeavor to make it so you never hear static again. And you have my most sincere apologies. BBC. There is someone is torn. I got very excited when I saw this next article. That and Hattie, continue to report on the chat room.
Yes.
Continue to send in the latest from the chat room.
I will.
Is the video. The main thing I want to be clear is the video. If that's not clear, I'm very upset. What are you doing?
Plugging my headphones into my computer really quickly.
Oh, because you're going to listen to hear it for yourself. The early 2015 Retina MacBook. I thought that they were going to tear down. Already had a MacBook to tear down, but it's a MacBook Pro teardown, and they wanted to get to the inside of the Force Track touchpad. Force Track is this crazy little thing. And here's what they describe. They say Apple's Taptic engine is powered by an array of electromagnets that rapidly push and pull against a metal rail mounted beneath the trackpad to create a tiny buzz of feedback with each click. and a second buzz for a force click. And they said it's based on the wiggly pattern of traces stuck to the metal tabs. They have figured out that the magic pressure sensors are tiny strain gauges mounted on flexing metal supports, and they detect the amount of flex on each, and based on that, the force from above. It's pretty crazy. But they've got a wonderful video. Friends, I think iFixit folks are friends of the show. I think it's safe to say that. So go check that out if you're interested. Hattie's returning. What's the news? What's the news?
I just tested the video and the audio, and yes, there is static.
Is it bad?
Both. Yes.
Like unlistenable?
I would say unlistenable, but like I can still understand you. It's just every time you speak, it's just like.
Just me, or when you speak also?
I haven't checked yet.
Well, who knows? New gear, new things happen. There's no static in the end product, so hopefully the people who are enjoying this at home will be. And see if anyway, I don't want to get into it. It's too distracting. Apple has stopped selling the Jawbone Up, the Nike Fuel Band, all of this in preparation for selling the Apple Watch. They don't want anything in there that does anything even remotely like what they have. They don't even want that. Nothing. They will not have anything in their own store competing with their own stuff. Can you blame them? I can't. Well, good for them. And they're dumping them all out of the Apple Store. Goodbye. I want to tell you about the 5-4 Club really quickly because I'm running out of time. My kids are like almost. It's weird because it's daylight out. We need to get a camera out there,
right, to show what it looks like outside.
Yeah, we need to get that because people are going to want to know exactly what it looks like out my window. But it's weird. It's light out, and it still feels more like 5 o'clock than it feels like after 6 o'clock.
Maybe like 4:35.
Yeah. Do you hate shopping? Because most men hate shopping. If you do, go to get54.com and you will find an amazing clothing shopping experience that will blow you away. $60 a month gets you $120 worth of clothing. That's how they do it. You sign up, and when you sign up, I'll show you this if you're watching. You basically tell them what your style is. Last time I think I did like Dressed to Impress. This time I'm going to do business casual. And they show you like some color combinations. Oh, I like this middle. Let's say I like the middle one. And I'm medium. And my pants are 29. And then once you're done, you say, slim fit, right? And then you tell them your shoe size because they can send. This is all part of how they gauge what you're going to wear. And they pick out the clothes for you so that you do not have to go and pick them out yourself.
Or worry that you're making a bad choice.
Right. So now I have this. And now at the end of it, you sign up with your email, you create your account. Boom. How long did that take? 30 seconds? They say 60.
Not even.
They say 60. And that way you don't have to get you. They're going to send you $120 of their clothes. They produce these clothes. It's the only place in the world you can get them. You can't get them in like a regular store. And they send these things to you. If it's the wrong size, they give you an exchange. No big deal. NBD. And the URL you're going to go to is get45.com. And that's spelled out. I'm sorry, get54.com. Spelled out FIVEFOUR. So it's get54.com. And the offer code that you're going to use is Dan20 off, Dan20 off. That'll get you $20 off your first box. So instead of paying $60, you're going to pay 40. And you're going to get $120 worth of clothes that I think you're really going to like. So go check them out at get54.com. Thanks very much to them for supporting the show. Last thing I want to tell you about today, my friend Coy Vin. You didn't get to meet Coy when we went to New York.
No.
You were busy, but we had an amazing lunch. I wish I could remember the place in New York. New York is full of wonderful places to eat. And we went to a really nice place, and they brought out a really, what do you call that, Hattie, when they bring out a cheese board? It's a fancy French name for like a cheese board with meats on it. Yes, I'm trying to remember.
A charcuterie?
Yes, thank you. Title.
Charcuterie is a title.
And yes, if you can spell it, it's a title.
I sure can.
Can you ask Alexa, how do you spell charcuterie?
Charcuterie is spelled CHARCUTERIE.
I only had one extra R. That was
Nice.
it.
I'm
Boom.
impressed. Anyway, we went to this lovely restaurant. We had one of those charcuteries, and it was delicious. And we had a full meal. And I guess you couldn't be there for some reason. I forget why. We'll forget what you were doing. It's not every day you get to have lunch with Khoi Vin. So I hold that up as one of my best experiences because I so admire his
And
work.
One of my biggest regrets.
He's so influential. And just getting to spend an hour listening to him talk and the stuff that he's done. I would love to get him on the show. How do you make that
Yes,
happen?
I can make that
Make
happen.
that happen. I don't see you writing.
It's logged.
I feel better if it was written because last time you said it was logged, we forgot our plane tickets. So
No, we never.
anyway, just write it down. Thank you. This is an amazing book that he's just come out with. It's called How They Got There. And we need to have him on the show to talk about this if he's around. Interviews with digital designers about their careers. Basically, he says, this is the kind of book that I wish I had, when I was starting out. He's got Dan Cederholm, the founder of Dribbble, and my co-founder when we did Corked, for example. Alex Cornell of Firespotter Labs. Evan Sharp of Pinterest. Hattie, I know you're very into Pinterest.
Rudy's.
Okay. Tons and tons of really great interviews. And this is the book. He's made it available, of course, as a PDF. You can also get it as an EPUB for iBooks. You can get it as a Mobi file for Kindle. And it's just a wonderful book. So hopefully we can get him on here. But Khoi Vin, man, he's just amazing. And you know what he calls his production company?
What?
It's so cool. Design Department Partners, LLC. He does everything. He's got his finger on the pulse of the planet, I'll tell you that. 14 interviews, so you can go check that out. That's in the show notes. Show notes are going to be at 5by5.tv/dbh/8. I want to get away from that. The new website is done. The URLs are going to be better. There's going to be better ways for people to contribute and be a part of the show.
Interact
more. Hopefully there won't be static in upcoming episodes of the show. We're only 42 minutes. And but we got to go. I can't miss my kid's bedtime. Those interviews really threw me off. They really messed me up. It sucked up so much of the day, and it throws. I get into a rhythm of the day. You
never know if they're going to last 20 minutes, 30, or 45. You have no idea.
No, you don't know. So we're having, we have a shorter show for you, but I want to tell you guys about some things that we're doing that they're kind of cool. As soon as now I feel bad because there's static. I don't like static.
I don't know.
It just started all of a sudden.
Yeah, it started. They said about 20 minutes ago, and then just slowly got worse and worse and worse and worse.
That sounds like electrostatic buildup.
Yeah. So I don't know what, but I think it got really, really bad.
So they're off now. They can't even listen.
A lot of them are. Yeah.
They can't even listen.
Yeah.
What would cause static?
I don't know, but it was the same thing that was happening during Back to Work that one time when you recorded in here.
What is it about this room?
I don't know, but that also got worse.
I recorded Back to Work in this room.
Yeah, remember?
No.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying I don't remember. I'm not saying I didn't.
Yes, you did. No, remember you?
No, I don't remember.
And the day when I told you that you were having terrible static problems.
That was in here.
Yeah. Because we finished DLC in there, and then you took over the stream for the end of Back to Work, remember?
You know what? I do remember that. I do remember that. And I think that happens if I don't reboot the streaming machine every time. And if I don't dance in a circle around the fire
clap
pit
at it.
and sacrifice a lamb to it.
To the streaming machine?
Yeah, I have to do that in order to. Yeah, I think I know what could have done it. But why would it start? Anyway, listen, this is the kind of thing that I stress out. About
Don't stress out.
We got our 2 nice new screens in here. We got all the new audio equipment in here. Who knows? There was a static charge building up,
Because we were so excited for the show.
Just the excitement of building all of this up. It just, ugh. I hate that. Now it's going to bug me. I think I can hear the static.
That's what started it all.
Can you hear that? Anyway, I've got so much more that I want to tell you guys about, but I don't want to ruin stuff. We got some really cool guests. Next week, we got Ryan McBride coming on. And he is a pilot and he's going to take me up on a Cessna and let me fly it.
Are you sure he's going to let you
yes,
fly?
Yes, no,
it?
otherwise I'm not going. But I've flown one before. It's they're not as hard as you would think to fly. If you can drive, it's the same thing. It's just there's no road. But otherwise, it's the same. And, you know, where we're going, we don't even need roads. So I'm excited about that. We'll have him on to talk about it. I'm not going to stop trying to get Khoi Vinh until we get him. Maybe that'll be the first time you'll get to speak to Khoi.
I've spoken to him. I spoke to him a couple weeks ago.
Oh, when you were setting up the thing with Jeffrey
Big Web
Seldman.
Show.
Big Web Show. So that'll be neat to get him on there. We've got another few surprise guests I don't want to give away yet. But this has been a lot of fun to kind of get us to this point where now we really are starting to get into the thing that we want to do. We've got our segments lined up and we're perfecting them, and we'll be launching them, you know, one by one over the course of the next week or so. It's South by Southwest here. And a lot of people have asked, Dan, are you going to be doing anything exciting for South by Southwest? I said, yeah, I'll be doing the Dan Benjamin Hour right here in our studio.
With
and
really great guests.
If you'd like to come out. So we've got, and I'm just going to can I out some of the
people
the commitments?
And then you can tell people to, if they don't show up, to just keep tweeting them and hounding them.
Yeah. One thing is if Arnold Kim, he is definitely a friend of the show. Friend of the show, Arnold Kim. Will be here, and physically in studio, I'm told. And there's a handful of other guests who are going to try and capture them and bring them, take them and get barbecue, and then wind up back here at the studio and do a fun show. So that'll be our show. We may even record over the weekend because a lot of people are here for the interactive South by Southwest, which begins to tomorrow, I guess, technically.
Tomorrow, yeah.
The parties are all tomorrow.
It's the 13th through the 17th is the design interactive.
Interactive. And I believe Arnold Kim arrives today. So if we don't, you know, we got to get him out tomorrow or even over the weekend. So we're going to be here over the weekend. We'll be doing shows, hopefully with a whole lot of static in the background. But that's all we've got for you today. I know it's a little bit of a shorter show. 45 minutes about. So who knew? The hour is now compressed. But thanks very much for listening. And I would love it if you have suggestions or thoughts or ideas for the show, share them with me. I would love to hear about them. And you can do that by hitting me up on Twitter at Dan Benjamin. If you're an email kind of person, I read every email I get. I don't often have the opportunity to reply. Dan at 5by5.tv is a great place to email me. Twitter's better, and I will reply on Twitter. At Dan Benjamin on Twitter. So thanks for that. Keep them coming, you know, whether it's news or links or questions, I'll try and answer on the show. And I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody who's taking the time to listen and share it with their friends. You've got a commitment for me that we're going to be here doing this show for a long time. So invest in it and help us make it better by listening. Thank you, everybody. And we will be back tomorrow, on time tomorrow, at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central. Thanks very much for tuning in.